Before we begin, thank you very much to Jacob P. for joining the Patreon campaign over at patreon.com/TJOmega. It is very, very appreciated, all the help that you guys provide over there. Yeah, and it means the world to me because it genuinely allows me to keep doing this and keep doing silly things for you. And I want to do silly things for you forever. So thank you very much. It is a news roundup week. We got a whole bunch of stuff that I really kind of want to talk about. And we're going to start with there's basically a whole bunch of toy reveals that I wanted to get my my thoughts out in the universe for. So that's what we're gonna do. And it starts, it didn't really intend to start with these. It intended to start with these, but I didn't want you to. I wanted to throw you off just a little bit. So, let's see, what was the company that does these? Yeah, Symbiote Studios. They're doing those cute little plushies. And honestly, foot tall plushies for about $25, for a licensed plushie, about what I expect, which is not what I thought I would get out of a designer online company that you don't see in Walmart or something. But I'm actually happy that these are relatively affordable, and they did announce a new Soundwave. Super adorable, has his visor instead of the cute eyes that the first one had. Yeah, that Soundwave looks way too nice for Soundwave. That ain't right. But the big thing here is the announcement and the teaser of we have a Shockwave, a Wheeljack, a Hound, and a Who Knows. It is, it's Thundercracker or Skywarp definitely, but really, that could be any of 20 different characters, if you really think about it. So we're getting another Seeker. I always this is the kind of stuff where it's I don't have room for it, but it's cute and I kind of appreciate it. And that Unicron is hilarious. If it was proper post movie Unicron where the eyes look broken and the mouth is hanging open and I could use the mouth to store my cell phone for the night or something, then I'd be down for that. But that's not happening. But yeah, this is just a goofy little thing before we get into the real toys. So we got in-package shots of Wave 1 Legacy, and I love the look of this packaging. I love the bright purple. I love the angular design to the packaging. It's been a while since we had a unique shape to a Transformer box. And I think this is a really nice way of putting the artwork out forward. Having that art on the side and not, and having an angle to it like they've been doing is so nice for flipping through figures at the store. Very easy to tell if you got new stuff or not. This is looking great. Now we look at the individual figures. Kickback, loaded with translucent plastic, but none of it seems imperative. And then I know Skids is loaded with it. Dragstrip does not seem to have any. Or at the very least, none I can see in this mode. But yeah, and then RC's got a little bit. But they look fine. They look like a nice, diverse set for a Wave 1, which is what you want. You want them to look very different from each other. And they still look pretty good. I've heard Skids is Plastic Addict bad, and I don't know, because all we have are a few reviews of stolen versions out of China, or Vietnam now, I guess. But still stolen nonetheless, so you never know. Those early production ones that you get in those reviews, those are literally factory rejects that have been taken home, reassembled together into one working figure, and then that's what they sell and that's what they review, but it's still stolen merch, so But the point here is, don't judge the quality of the figure based on those early looks, because they are not representative of something that has gone through quality control. They're basically just scrap figures that have been fixed up. So I'm curious to get them in hand myself to see how they are. But the rest, it looks like a really solid Wave. That much I like. We got a leak of the Exosuit Spike Witwicky, which I think was in one of the rumor listings that we are actually going to get. It is the new Studio Series Legends class, which is such a weird. We still call them Legends just because they're the small ones. Oh no, we don't. No, wait. backtrack, reset, Core. I totally forgot we changed the name to Core. That's how much I pay attention to Core class. But we do have a new one here, which is Spike Witwicky. And I do like that they're actually giving him like a proper figure, so I can stat him next to Bumblebee and wonder why he's so close in size to Bumblebee. What is hilarious about this is that they finally got a translucent bubble head with a visible head in there underneath. Now, I think only the Masterpiece did that before. What's hilarious is the head doesn't rotate up, so when it's in the vehicle mode, it's just kind of staring downward. No idea where it's going. What I do like about this, aside from the fact it seems like this one has a full range of articulation, I like that the actual like forearms can swivel around to have the gun mode that Daniel used. That part is fun. I really feel like they're releasing it as Spike Witwicky, but I really feel like if you could open like the chest up and switch the heads around, and there's a younger one for Daniel underneath, you could get people buying twice as many just to complete the duo, just have father and son. Little idea, absolutely is not going to happen. I'm curious about how it transforms because this is a human being inside the exosuit. I want to see if it mangles them. I want to see if it actually makes sense. All right, we got a whole bunch of new random toys in the little kid market. So Cybertron Battlers, we've seen these before. These are just simple vinyl figures. They're not for adult collectors at all, so there's no use complaining about, they don't transform or anything like that. No, these are what I call shut-up toys. This is when you have a screaming child in the toy aisle who won't shut up until you give him something, so you buy him this $4.99 Optimus Prime, go, here, take that, shut up. That's what these toys are. These are not even for kids. These are for parents, so they can just get something, make the kids stop screaming, and get out of the store before anyone reports them to child services. That is what these exist for. They're doing a couple new mask toys as well. Who cares? What I thought was funny were the new Minibot racers, which we got a listing for, wondering what they were, and what they are is just some repaints of Rescue Bots, Minibot racers. It's no real big deal. I think what is funny about these is they are marketing them with the Evergreen art, which is essentially the Cyberverse designs. But we are getting a new Rescue Bot style Transformer logo, and we are getting some really, really forced repaints. That Whirl, for instance, is obviously a Whirl mold, but it's supposed to be RC now. I guess the age that these are aimed at, the kid's not going to care, like how accurate it is. I think it's funny that apparently Trailbreaker's getting one. Just randomly throw in Trailbreaker. Okay, fine. I'm happy to see Trailbreaker. All right, I will go with that. I will go with that. Let's go back to a more collector-based toy. We've got pictures of our Buzzsaw from Legacy, and at first I thought this reviewer of stolen merchandise. I thought he had just really bad white balance until I realized that no, the bug head is actually translucent green plastic. So Hasbro still does not know how to paint over translucent plastic without the color bleeding through. So we have a very slightly green Hornet head along with all of the other yellow. Kind of an unfortunate situation. Now, he looks fine. The toy itself looks fine. The black wings are a change from the original toy, but I don't mind them. They're a little bit more accurate. I think more accurate to how a Hornet or Wasp's wings would look. I don't mind it. I don't mind it. It's not a bad figure. It's not. Of course, it's an obvious redeck. I'm still not sold on the more organic touches to the head. But beyond that, yeah, I'm actually kind of looking forward to this because I've always really liked the Buzzsaw colors. That's going to be a nice little alternative to Waspinator. All right, so let's do a little bit of Masterpiece now. We found out that, we got a good look here at the Coronation set for MP Starscream 2.0. And the convoluted method in order to get this. So in order to actually get this, you had to buy all 3 of the Masterpiece Seekers. Everyone had a little thing on the inner flap of the box. It's basically like the old UPCs. You know, you cut them out, you send them in, and they send you one of these. And well, and you know what? Bravo! Like this guy's not expensive. You're spending north of $600 to get 3 Seekers. You better get a little bit of something for free at that point. So this little incentive, this there, build a figure, buy everything, and we will send you 1 extra tchotchke. Fine, okay, whatever. It's just, and really, I kind of prefer this to the Hasbro approach, which is let's throw it all in, charge $20 for the more for the exact same toy we did 2 years ago. I prefer that. I prefer this over that. Okay, fine. For me, it's like if you're gonna make a Starscream over $200, just throw the parts in. charge an extra $20 and just throw the extra 4 pieces in, or however much extra it costs. If you already got someone on the hook for that much money, you might as well bump it up $20-$30 and complete the package. And then that way, the rest of the Seekers look like a deal. It looks like like you got a good deal on your Skywarp. So I'm not a fan of the delivery method. Overall, I'm not a fan. So, but at least they're available. At least it's a thing. We got new shots of Masterpiece Cliffjumper. Nice and clear, undoubtedly what this is. Heavy retool of Bumblebee, obviously, with some suspicious and suggestive smiley faces. Now, what it's doing is it's covering up tooling marks that are on this prototype that would tell the factory and the companies involved here when this toy was run on the machine, and then thus like who was operating the machines at the time, just in case a leak happens, they can track it back to the source. So someone censored it out. And then they forgot to censor this one on the shoulder. It clearly says 1 to 140. Oops. So that might come back and bite them. So, the backpack does look a lot cleaner than Bumblebee's. I will give it that. From little shots I've seen, it definitely looks like it engineers differently. So it looks like they cleaned up the tooling from last time. I'm still not a fan of this particular figure itself. I think there's just way too much. I mean, of course there's going to be shell involved, but like just a little bit too much for my tastes. I mean, it looks great. It looks like Bumblebee. I'd suggest that the arms are a little bit too short, but beyond that, yeah, it just looks like a really good Bumblebee and a really good Cliffjumper. Yeah, but I've just never been a fan of just how overly complex they look. I do like that they went with a squat, cartoon-accurate car. I mean, there is that room down the road to have the actual vehicle mode, like the real-world version of Cliffjumper, same way they did Bumblebee. But for what we got for now, I think this is fine. This is fine. We had a weird collector vinyl drop. So Unruly Industries has shown off this render for what is going to be their Optimus Prime exclusive little statuette. And why are we getting so many like weird Transformer vinyl figures lately? Like that's bizarre to me. I mean, I'm assuming it's a vinyl piece. It looks like something that would be a vinyl toy. So, where to begin? This is bizarre. This is really bizarre. So I get the idea that the style of it is like a graffiti artist. So it's Optimus Prime, as a spray artist. I don't understand why he is such a bad painter, because he's just absolutely covered in red paint. He looks like a melted candle. That's what's getting me here. It looks like the top half of him is melting. And the roller is not so much a paint roller as is him trying to clean up his own flesh that is melting off of his frame. Not happy about it. It's also weird to see that his truck mode's been vandalized. Like, I'm not sure how that happened. Definitely couldn't paint that himself, I don't think. He'd be very talented if he could. You also notice extra spray cans instead of the gas tanks hanging off the side of the leg. Okay, that's a cute little touch, but I don't know. I would expect Optimus Prime to be a better painter than this if he was a street painter. Like this just seems like he's a little bit too sloppy for me to hire for any work. He's got more paint on him than he does the wall. Again, it's just it's another really bizarre take. I'm sure there's people who are going to be loving how weird this one is, but we're getting more and more of these weird figurines. Like the Loot Crate ones were already weird enough, and now we got these. I'm sure far from the last. And then just to round it out, we did find out that Netflix is dropping a whole bunch of Transformer shows in February. So we are losing Transformers Prime, Rescue Bots, Robots in Disguise, the 2015 one, we should say, and Rescue Bots Academy. Now, I'm just throwing this in here just to go, don't freak out or anything. We've seen Hasbro's been very good about uploading Transformers G1 to their YouTube channel. I think the entire series is now available for free to watch, which is fantastic. And I would not be surprised if all of these followed suit. It seems like Hasbro really wants to create their own streaming library. And I'm happy that they're going that route instead of their own committed streaming service, because they certainly have enough shows in their back catalog for that. But I do like that they're just going with ad revenue on YouTube and attention rather than, nickel and diming us every month to see the same old shows. Yeah, so don't freak out that you're losing these. I'm sure we'll see them back sooner than later. I would not be surprised if Prime... And even then, there are other options out there. I believe it's Tubi that has Transformers Animated, as people were telling me. So Animated is streaming for free. I think the only Transformer series that's completely held hostage and just floating in the ether somewhere is Transformers RID from 2001. That's the only one where I can't find it for streaming. I can't find it for DVD because the rights to that series are all over the place. Beyond that, I think Hasbro's just trying to consolidate all of their stuff together so they can have it just on one platform showing it off. So that's the expectation. And that's probably going to be it for the day. That's a whole bunch of news from the week. A lot of new toys leaked, new toys revealed. And, don't worry about the Transformer shows. I was going to talk about the new Hasbro CEO, because that just got announced too. And I'm not, because we know what his name is. And I know what that would lead to in the comments section. And frankly, I can only handle so many of those at a time. So I'm just going to call it here and say thank you for joining me today, and I hope to see you for tomorrow's video. Guys, I am facing the most powerful enemy any YouTuber can face, the algorithm, and I need your help to defeat him. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and leave a comment. Every time you do, we attack that algorithm and we drive it back until it can no longer defeat this channel. Thank you very much.